Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, and if you are a new viewer, well, just keep in mind that these build videos are focused around Warframe and weapon synergies, with all that other endgame loot in between. They encourage a certain playstyle that might not be for everyone, and well, today I'll be showing you my approach to playing Vauban in an endurance setting, focused mainly around locking down areas and grouping enemies up to take them out with well-placed shots and strikes from both the Tekko fist melee weapon and the deadly and dangerous and even sometimes fatal to yourself Tekko Brahma bow. This build does some insane damage when you play it right. It's only when you play it wrong that it can be kind of a problem. This is my new build that I like to call the Tekkomancer Vauban. Check it out, guys. Vauban. So playing Vauban at this kind of level can be really tricky. It's easy to get one shot if you don't pay close attention to enemy spawns, their pathing and line of sight. I use Vaubans, Bastille and Vortex to control each entrance and route that I know the enemies are going to be coming from. And once you fall into this sort of rhythm, it can be a ton of fun. You do have to be very careful that you don't get carried away killing stuff, that you then lose out on those choke points and enemies start to flow in where you don't expect them and you get taken out randomly. If the Tekko Brahma doesn't take you out first, of course. And this is your disclaimer right here, guys. I died more times to my own fire than I did to enemies around me. I was running a hunt munitions and viral setup for the start of this footage, and then I thought to myself, you know what, Zen? What would it be like with gas damage? So the synergy that we're using here realistically is the Vortex clumping enemies up so that you can create a controlled environment further enough away from you to just blast things with the Tekko Brahma built for gas, and that gas damage is just going to keep multiplying and attacking all those enemies in that cluster. It's worth noting that I am using the Fletcher grenades to get some scaling punch damage as the enemy level ramps up. But oh my god, is that a lot of damage. They're level 5,400 enemies right there. So the footage before was without a Riven. This controlled environment test will be with a Riven just to show you the difference and get some juicy red crits in the process. Also worth noting that I am using some vigilante set mods to just bolster up a little bit of crit with that passive set bonus. Invincibility is on here, and I'm just going to group up some enemies so you can see, without even stripping any armor, how much damage this current setup does. You can see everything's just swirling around, rotating, one shot with the Brahma, and bang, near enough every single enemy, well, every enemy that was in the Vortex was dead. And the leftovers here, we're just going to strip some armor, use a bit of the Tekko. I'm going to show you more love with the Tekko coming up, but let's take invincibility off, and I'll just quickly show you how I maneuver through maps using Zenuric, crowd control enemies with lockdown, rolling guard to get iframes so I can cast my Bastilles in those choke points. They're going to strip armor and then turn into vortexes to crowd control enemies. Really important that you get this sort of playstyle down if you're going to try and pull this build off, but I'll assure you, once you get it down, it's a lot of fun. You just might want to be careful of that Tekko Brahma's range if you get carried away, like Exhibit A here. And if you do crowd control all the enemies and you kill yourself, you might just be able to get picked up by your Jin Sentinel. More on that after we go through the Vauban build. Plenty of room for you to customize these builds, of course, to your own playstyle, but I'm just going to show you what I've been using. So in the aura slot we have corrosive projection for team synergy to strip armor quicker, vigilante pursuit to help see enemies on the map, which is highly important for this build, primed continuity for additional duration, and streamline to help cast and spam abilities, auger reach and stretch for the range of our Bastille and Vortex, transient fortitude and umbral intensify to help the Bastille strip armor quicker. We have rolling guard for iframes, which is really useful and important, and primed flow for additional energy pool. You can swap out transient fortitude if you wish for something else, maybe one of the augments that you like, or potentially more efficiency. Either or goes, and really just find what you're comfortable with, I suppose, and use that by all means. Moving on to the Tekko Prime, we have another unusual synergy to cover here. I'll show you exactly what I mean after the mods. So we have the Seismic Palm for our stance in this one, with Condition Overload for cord damage, Prime Smite and insert your faction depending on what you're fighting, Berserker, Drifting Contact for attack speed and combo duration, Weeping Wounds for additional status, Blood Rush for critical chance, Molten Impact and Prime Fever Strike to get gas. So let's test it out, shall we, and I'll explain what's going on here. Spawn some level 165 Corrupted Heavy Gunners. Let's not strip armor, we're just going to go straight in for a Vortex. It opens them up for ground finishes, and even without combo, boom, they're all dead. Let's see if we can get another Vortex going. It's such a strong ability for crowd control and grouping enemies up, it's really overlooked I think quite a bit. As you can see, once you got a combo counter, those fully armoured units just get absolutely annihilated. Really good damage. Sometimes it can be a little unreliable if the enemies are jerking around too much to get the ground finishes, and especially if you have a straggler, you're better off stripping the armour off them first with whatever weapon that you might have. Let's have a look at the Tekko Brahma now. I'm pretty sure I've made my point across already on how strong this thing is. So we have core damage with Serration, Point Strike for critical chance, Vital Sense for critical damage. We have Infected Clip and Malignant Force to get our Toxin, as our Tekko Brahma is a base of heat. We have Vigilante Armaments, Split Chamber for multi-shot, and then our Primed Bane to increase our gas procs. It's worth noting that Twitch is there to bolster our holster speed, so I can swap between my armor stripping secondary should I need to. Let's get stuck in with the example for the Tekko Brahma without a Riven. As you can see, we're going to strip armor with a Bastille and use the Vortex to group them up. Like I'd already mentioned, this is basically the entire playstyle for this build. But look at that one shot, boom. Those gas procs are insane amounts of damage. Oh my god. Again, if you miss an enemy and you see one that's still got armor, like at this level at least, they're still going to get shredded, but in the event that they've got gas procs still on and they don't seem to be dropping, if you can strip the armor with like a secondary, you just see them like sort of just get deleted. I'll show you exactly what I mean. I can spot a guy hiding behind this pillar here. You shoot him with the Tekko Brahma, he's got full armor, and then boom, Tekko Brahma strips it and he gets deleted. And lastly, just a quick show of the Jin Sentinel and the mods that I had on him. Still a work in progress this, but by all means this is not a bad build to run. Primed Animal Instinct and Reawaken, I would say, are the two main key factors here. Primed Regen and Sacrifice is probably also decent. Some survivability is nice, but realistically you're going to get one shot in Endurance anyway. You've got to CC those enemies to keep it alive. And the Vigilante set bonus is what we're really wanting there to help bolster our Tekko Brahma for some juicy reds. That's about it for the build section of this video. I will leave you with some endurance footage now of the build in action, and I want to say a huge thank you to Gaz, Artix and Spiffy aka Pico Sparrow for joining me in that run. It was a lot of fun. Also a special thank you to the one and only Christ He Thunder. You know what you did, you absolute legend. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you like the content. And by all means, if you want a more interactive discussion, I'm now live on Twitch at least 2 to 3 times a week. And we have a very, very active Discord as well. I'll leave the links in the description down below. That's all for me now, guys. Ciao for now.